Here at Vinegar Syndrome, we are a film preservation company and distributor. That means we have a lot of film in our film archive, from OCNs in the form of single strand and a B-roll, to CRIs, internegatives, interpositives, all types of intermediate elements. But those are not prints. So, for this first release of Reviver, let's talk about the 35mm print. When will we actually go to something which is a print piece of film? The answer is when it's a lost film that's never been seen before. A great mystery opened up by me in a box and now delivered to you. Why do we not use film prints typically? Number one, it's damage. This print has a lot of damage, including this enormous edge break, which is going to need to be repaired before it's thrown on the scanner. Unfortunately, we have some color fade or color shift on this print. In print film, first you have your base, then you have yellow, then you have cyan, and then on top, that top layer is magenta. Closest to the base, you'll have those two bottom layers, that yellow and that cyan. Interestingly enough, they're highly susceptible to deterioration over time. And what ends up happening is they leave that magenta layer on top. However, while the actual cyan and yellow layers are very deteriorated and have shifted, there's a surprising amount of image detail in the cyan and yellow layers still to this day. We're very, very lucky that this element still has a little bit of detail in everything besides just the magenta layer. With emulsion scratches, unlike base scratches, you're permanently etching off a segment of the image. That's the scratch on the emulsion. That's literally removing the emulsive layer. However, if you were to scratch on the other side, you don't see through. That's because there's no image on this section. There's only image on the emulsive section. The base side, if you look at it with a light shining onto it, is very glossy. And in the very center, you see some pretty sizable base scratching. So those are base scratches. Base scratches are incredibly common on print film, and it makes sense because if you think about it, the film print is running through the projector at 24 frames per second. What if it drags itself on something, which often happens if the projection is being a little bit sloppy? Well, then you have the actual base damaging itself. So here is what it would look like to see a base scratch. This is a emulsion scratch. Oh fuck, it's an emulsion scratch. That means part of the image is gone forever. And there's not much we can do about it. Fuck. So near the end of a film, you begin to see the first set of cue marks, you'll notice it, and what this is the motor start cue. Once that projectionist sees the motor start cue, by instinct, time to turn on the other projector, and then suddenly you get close to the end, 172 frames later, usually, unless someone fucked up, you will get your changeover cues. They press a button, really quickly jumps over to the other projector, and then suddenly you have a pretty seamless method of having continuity between the two reels. So let's change over to something a little bit more comfortable, won't you? With Reviver, for the first time ever, we'll have a label based purely on lost and missing movies. You get a glimpse into what they actually looked like when they came to us, the stories behind the actual lost films. And your support of Reviver will be a direct contribution to the film archive. That means the money that you give to us is not going to some other department in this beautiful company, but staying straight here, where all the films are. Not just to maintain our day-to-day operations, but to ensure that we can continue to get better and better and better. Your support will mean the world to us, and we will be showing you an entirely new world that you have never seen.
That week on my mind deliver all of these pleasures I find.